You're watching the 2019 SCAC Fall Media Days. It is day 4, and it's time to take a dive into the Southwestern University men's soccer program. The Pirates are coming off a 12-6-3 season a year ago, 8-4-2 in SCAC play, good enough for the 3rd seed, headed into the SCAC tournament, making a run all the way to the SCAC tournament championship, and earning a bid into the NCAA tournament. The Pirates will once again be led by head coach Dustin Norman, along with junior defender Brendan Dauth. And Coach, Brendan, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Coach, we'll start with you. You head into your 2nd season. You had such a great run to end last year in your inaugural campaign there in Georgetown. What did you learn over the course of last year that's really going to help you heading into the 2nd camp there at Southwestern with you and your staff?
You know, the main thing that we learned, and that's likely as a staff and as a team, is, you know, when we all committed ourselves to, you know, one cause and all get everyone rowing in the same direction, there's a chance that you can do something special, regardless of injuries, regardless of, you know, some unintangibles that you can't control. Just everybody committing themselves to, you know, playing for one another and playing for the group, you give yourself a real chance to compete for championships.
Brendan, your presence on the field as an underclassman was very evident with this team. Now as a junior, what feels different going into this camp, and does your approach at all change, maybe knowing that that leadership role is even heavier on your shoulders heading into this season?
I don't think much changes from this year. I think we're very much excited for the new coming season, as we finished last season very well. And I don't think anything changes from my end. You know, we go to the field, we do our job, and get things done, and hopefully we have some trophies at the end of the season.
Coach, as I look at this roster, it looks like 10 incoming faces head into this team, including 7 freshmen. Can you kind of speak to this group? What are your expectations from these guys, and do you expect to sort of see them, you know, making a contribution hopefully early with this team?
Yeah, I mean, we're excited obviously about the incoming group. There's a lot of young talented players that'll bring a lot of things to the table, some different pieces to the puzzle. You know, ultimately hoping that a few of them can fill some shoes that are left on the field for us. But ultimately, you know, like I told the guys in the spring, the guys that are already here that know what we've been through, and obviously we're a big part of the process of getting us to this point, are fully reliable. We're fully capable of winning games with the guys that we already have in-house. So we just kind of look at it as, you know, some bonus opportunities for guys coming in the door to earn their own way. You know, ultimately we want to make sure that we're focusing on the process, you know, doing the right things day to day, and, you know, we're excited about adding some guys to the group, but at the same time they have a long ways to go to catch up. We have a lot of older players with a lot of experience in the group, so it'll be fun as we get into preseason to see some of that competitiveness come out. That, you know, every preseason has some of those pieces as far as excitement, nervous pieces to it, but, you know, at the same time we're looking forward to bringing those guys in, getting them acclimated to the environment, and obviously trying to find a way to fit all the talent on the field at one time.
Brendan, you were a part of that magical run at the end of the season that I talked about. I was lucky enough to be there really every step of the way, going back to the SCAC tournament through the NCAA appearance as well. And I saw the emotion and how special this team was as they came together at the end of the year. Despite obviously not getting the result that you wanted in the NCAA tournament, does that kind of success and sort of the taste that it left in your mouth at the end help really motivate you and the rest of your guys as you head into this 2019 season?
Yeah, we're definitely very hungry. We want a trophy bad, and I think this is gonna be a good year for us to make a good run for it. You know, a lot of the guys at the end of the season were, you know, kind of bummed out we didn't get it, but I think the guys that have returned, we're even more hungry to go back and just make a run for it, and even go further than that as well.
Coach, you mentioned you know, guys hoping to fill some shoes. The one, you know, big pair of shoes that stands out to me offensively, especially Jake Solanki graduates. He's a guy who last year was top 5 in the SCAC in goals, top 10 in the SCAC in terms of points scored. Where do you look to kind of replace that production as a whole unit going into this season?
You know, realistically, just kind of looking at the group as a total, where, regardless of where you manufacture or create the goals from. Ultimately, when you really look at it, when we started some of those, runs that you're talking about, as far as at the end of the year winning games, Jake Solanki was injured. So, this is a group that knows how to win regardless of the players that are on the field. Because just to circle back to it's about the process and about the group and the team effort, and ultimately that's what's going to give us an opportunity to compete and stay in any game and win games. So I feel pretty confident in the group that we have coming in, that guys will easily be able to fill those shoes. Not to undersell what Jake did for this program, in his senior year and in his first 3 years, but when it really comes down to it, I think we have a group of guys that are hungry. They're excited for their own opportunities on the field to garner a regular starting spot or playing time that maybe they haven't had in the past, and looking forward to seeing those guys have shared stories as far as the hard work that they've put in thus far over the summer, so looking forward to some of that coming to fruition.
Brendan, you helped anchor a defense last season that posted a 0.99 goals against average. That was third best in the SCAC and really became a very difficult team to play against as the season went down. How do you look to improve on that this year, and what will be key to kind of maintaining that tough mentality to play against heading into this year?
I think it just starts with the small details off the field, with us just focusing and making sure we're ready for games, eating right, making sure we're not focused on other things other than the game or practice or what's going on. Also just communication. Sometimes last season we weren't the best at communicating, so we conceded some goals, but when we were at our best, it was hard for anyone to get past us at points.
Coach, preseason to me is one of the more unique special times during the course of a season. As a coach who is also a Division III player and a star in his own right, what did you learn over the course of your preseasons as a player that help you now as a head coach?
I think the biggest lesson is just getting, enjoying the moment and the time off the field. We go over it regularly. I mention it to the guys, whether it's at the beginning of preseason or even before, the national tournament game last year. At the end of the day, it's just you and, 10 friends going down to grass field to kick a ball around and to relax and enjoy, kind of the moment. Don't get me wrong, our guys work and grind hard, and we're going to push them to be the best that they can possibly be. But ultimately, I think the lesson that you learn from, we're fortunate, unlike other sports that start their seasons maybe in the spring, we get to come in early and spend time, prior to school starting, really growing together as a group. And I think it's a really special time. And ultimately, the biggest lesson learned is you have to encourage them to just enjoy it, to savor the extra moments, regardless of how tired or sore you are during the preseason, week or two build up to the first game. Just to enjoy each step of the way. You're going to have nervous moments, you're going to be sore, you're going to hurt, but just to really enjoy the time in the locker room and away from the field. That ultimately once school gets going, you don't have a whole lot of that extra time, and just to really savor it.
Brendan, you're an all-conference player. Take me through what your summer looked like as you got prepared to head into this junior season. What have you really worked on individually to help improve your game heading into this year?
Just make sure I'm on the field playing. I played a lot this summer, hopefully to stay in shape, and hopefully to come back and have my touch crisp this summer, this fall.
Coach, I can't help as I look at your schedule, your first fixture, Mary Hardin Baylor, also your last fixture of the 2018 season. How much kind of juice or energy have you hope or do you expect to see from your guys early on in the year, knowing you have that opportunity in front of you, first game of the season?
Obviously, that's a big game for, I'd be lying to myself and to the group if I didn't say that it wasn't a big game. It's a chance to kind of get some revenge based on the end of last season. We were pretty intentional about trying to schedule that to open season under the lights at home. Probably no better way to start the year for this senior group and for the returners. The freshmen, they don't know the level of competition that brought last year. We played them in preseason. We ended our season with them as well. So, you know, while we look at that piece as far as the competition goes as an exciting thing to build towards, you know, realistically, as we will continue to dwell on in preseason, and Marco and I will continue to preach to the guys, is focus on the process. You know, we need to get better each day so that we're better prepared not only for the first time that we step out on the field against a quality opponent in UMHB, but, you know, so that at the end of the season when we hit conference play and conference tournament play, we're ready. And each day focusing on that process of the how and why of what you do will give us a chance to come out on top as many times as possible.
Finally, Brendan, to wrap things up with you, as you look ahead to this year, what are some of the overall team goals that this Pirates men's soccer program has heading into the season?
I mean, we just need to set ourselves up for a good run for postseason. That's the biggest part for us, is just stay focused, stay healthy, and just get through the season. And then hopefully by postseason we're all together still healthy and we're playing well, and we'll see what comes out of that.
And finally, Coach, for you, your expectations with this group, and what can those, the Southwestern University men's soccer supporters, kind of expect to see from this team, regardless of the result, game in and game out?
Yeah, I mean, I think the expectation can be nothing different than last year. You know, what we promised the group and alumni and friends and family last year is that our guys are going to give a 90-minute performance that they can be proud to have some kind of relation to, whether it's their child on the field or, you know, it's an alumni watching the game from afar on the stream or, you know, in the seats. You know, the one thing that we promise is we're putting in everything we possibly can. You know, we're dedicating as much time, effort, and energy to, you know, garnering as many results as possible for the program so that it's set up, and, you know, those that are alumni and those that are friends and family can, you know, have a positive feeling walking away, knowing that the program and the players are in a good place and getting a great experience while here on campus.
Southwestern University men's soccer program, the Pirates, led by head coach Dustin Norman and junior defender Brendan Dauth, will open up the 2019 season August 30th at home against Mary Hardin Baylor there under the lights. Coach, Brendan, thanks so much for your time today, and best of luck as you head into the year.
Thanks.
Thank you.